Well, hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to this edition of the podcast. In today's podcast, I'm going to share with you what I refer to as precursor traits that will lead to the likelihood and the probability that you'll be successful financially. Now, we all have different definitions of financial success, however you define it, but these traits over the last 30 years working in the financial planning, wealth planning industry, I've found to be absolutely critical. I'm not going to go through all the traits that I've observed, but the main ones that come to mind. This is a 3-part video series, and so today we'll unpack the initial set of traits, and then in a couple of follow-up videos we'll go through the remaining traits. So again, we're going to unpack the necessary precursor traits to financial success. Welcome to the Take Charge of Change podcast. In this podcast, we'll help you to lead a more resilient professional and personal life by sharing great content to make you smarter, more energetic, emotionally healthy, financially confident, so you accomplish your professional and personal goals in spite of the challenges that are sure to come your way. Like I said in my opening comments, after working with many clients over the years, there's some interesting traits that sort of come to the forefront when I've been working with people. And I want to share some of these traits with you and hopefully be helpful when you start thinking about your own professional career. Now, if you are early in your career, then of course, I think these traits are absolutely indispensable to cultivate in our lives. I wish I had received this advice when I was finishing school and launching into my career. But I think even if you're a little bit long in the tooth, you've been in your profession for many years, sometimes we forget about these things and we get a little bit sloppy in our professional pursuits. So I think you'll find this a helpful discussion, maybe to remind you of a few things that you've forgotten. So let's look at the first trait. The first trait is understanding your unique ability and cultivating that unique ability. Back several years ago, I went through a business coaching program called the Strategic Coach, and Dan Sullivan had developed this idea called the unique ability idea concept, and really what he was trying to encourage people to do, and it wasn't unique, I think, as an idea, but he packaged it in a way that was very useful and applicable to our lives. And unique ability is really those things, that 1 or 2, 3 things that you do in your life that come fairly easily to you. In fact, when you look around you, you see other people might struggle with them, but you do it naturally and easily. The other thing is you really enjoy doing it. So it's something that not only comes easily to you, but you get some motivation and positive energy from it. And it's something that allows you to give back to the world to make a difference. This unique ability is crafted from many different things. It could be our work experiences, it could be our relationships, it could be our training. There's all kinds of things that filter into unique ability. But the bottom line is, understand what that is and try to get yourself in a position as you progress through your career or your current career or organization that you're working out of your unique ability and then you're delegating out other aspects of your life to people who are working out of their unique abilities. So again, a really important concept. Maybe it's self-evident to most of you, but sometimes we forget about how are we working day to day and are we working out of our unique ability. The second thing is to become conscious of the subconscious drivers or instincts or biases or relational styles that we have. So we go through our day-to-day professionally. We've got a lot of maybe things that we're doing on a regular basis that are leading to our professional success. But we also might have some things in our life professionally that are stalling or thwarting or creating inertia towards that success. So the first thing is, once in a while, become conscious of these drivers. And these drivers maybe can change as we get older. Understand what's leading to the success. Bring it to a conscious level. Play with it, look at it, become curious about it, and also bring to a conscious level those things that might be getting in the way of your success or allowing you to get to the level you want to get to. So you may have done that early in your career. If you haven't done it for a long time, I'd really encourage you to take some assessments. There's Myers-Briggs. We've used something called Kolbe. But go back to the drawing board. Do these assessments. Bring back to consciousness those things that are driving your success and getting in the way of your success. People that are successful financially spend some time on a somewhat regular basis over time becoming conscious of these things and tweaking and making improvements over time. The next thing you need to do is you need to cultivate emotional and psychological resilience. Certainly financially, that's the ability to defer current gratification. And many of us think we're pretty good at that, but we all succumb in the culture of consumerism to spending money today to driving towards those things that we think will bring fulfillment. Financial success is driven by the ability to defer current gratification to some future goal. It doesn't matter whether it's savings, investing, or building a business. Things take time, and we need to have the ability to defer that current consumption or thing we want to do to some future worthy, motivating, exciting goal. You need to cultivate that, and if you're a little bit weak in that, then one of your self-improvement projects should be, how do I improve my ability to become disciplined in my life to go after my goals? The other really critical thing is don't allow fear, anxiety, uncertainty to torpedo your financial and professional success. I've certainly seen this in the investment business where people allow anxiety and fear and uncertainty and frustration cause them to make investment decisions and financial decisions that were not the right decisions. And when we go through those emotional states, it kind of shuts down our ability to think in a clear and coherent way. And so by cultivating the ability to become, it doesn't mean you don't experience the emotions. You need to experience them, but you also need to be able to manage them so you don't get taken out of the game when it comes to making financial decisions and professional decisions. So really critical to cultivate those qualities. A lot of the information I'm sharing with you today is drawn from the Resilient Professional ebook. If you haven't downloaded the ebook, I'd encourage you to do that. You can get to the link by looking at the show notes below this particular video and download it, and there's discussions on this topic as well as unique ability. The next trait that I think is critical, and there are rare exceptions to this rule, but financial success, and this is more a philosophical approach, is more like a marathon than a sprint. It's about consistent discipline effort over long periods of time. There's a lot of messaging out there that says, you can get rich quick, these shortcuts to fame or fortune or whatever. But the reality in the real world is that success, capability, professional pursuits that are worthy, you're trying to get better at certain things, is really a function of time and effort and intentional practice and constant ongoing application of those things to get better at them. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you want to be successful financially, again, based on how you define it, it's going to take some effort on your part. And so you need to develop a sort of philosophical point of view that if it sounds too good to be true, probably is. Yeah, there's exceptions to that rule. But generally, success professionally, success financially takes longer than we think, and we need to apply consistent, diligent effort over sometimes extended periods of time to reach our goals and objectives. And then the last point for this particular video, and we'll get into video 2 to finish up the next series of points, is make a commitment to become more financially literate. And what I mean by that is when you look at financial literacy, it doesn't mean that you have to become an expert. But I do think that as part of your library and your professional reading, you need to spend some time understanding basic economics, basic investing, how various financial products work, basic concepts around financial planning. And why you want to do that is, number one, it's going to help you to make more effective use of your advisors, if you have advisors. And number two, it's going to help you have the proper perspective on issues that come into your life. A great example is stock market, capital markets, investment markets. What I find, at least professionally, is those people that have a little more information, a little bit more understanding about capital markets, they're willing to spend time unpacking that and understanding it, are far more disciplined in their approach to the whole investment planning area. They don't make knee-jerk reactions to capital markets, and they have consistently demonstrated to me in all the cases that I've worked with over the last 30 years that is the route to financial success, particularly investment success. But that applies in other areas as well, whether it's business success. You don't have to become an expert, but just generally versed in the main areas of financial literacy. And that's where coaches, mentors, reading, the library, bookstores are a great start to begin improving your knowledge level. So that's the first set of traits. That's video 1. I hope you enjoyed this particular discussion. If you want more information about this topic, be sure to download the ebook, The Resilient Professional. It has a lot of information on this topic, and I'd encourage you to start working your way through it to build financial resilience. As well, if you lead teams or if you're in a leadership role and you're looking for areas where you're trying to build resilience into your staff and teams, consider reaching out to us. We can develop customized workshops in the area of professional resilience and various topics, including financial resilience, that your teams, your staff will find very helpful. All the best in your pursuit of professional and personal resilience.